This is Joycey.
And Blake.
And welcome to Savagely Scaled, the podcast for those of us who leave our souls on the mats but still have to work on Monday. So guys, it is officially, we're heading towards one of the biggest things this year. It's the CrossFit Open. We're a few weeks away. But aside from just talking about that, we're also going to be breaking down a lot of what's been happening in the past about 60 days in the CrossFit world, or maybe even longer. I know we haven't had an episode about news, so this is going to be our opportunity to kind of update you on some things that have been happening behind the scenes. Amongst those, just, you know, what's going on with some of our top athletes, CrossFit HQ and the selling of CrossFit HQ, and then again, preparing for the Open. So let's get into it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so we're back with the news. I'm actually going to kick some stuff off about last year. You cannot talk about CrossFit without talking about the pinnacle, which is the CrossFit Games. We're to touch on that 2025 season. Even though it wrapped last year, the reverberations are still strong with it, supposedly. I feel like it wasn't as big last year. And I feel like... And we can kind of talk about it when we go into the Open, but I feel like we're going to get less
Attendance,
on it, maybe. I don't know. I know past season was held in Albany, New York, and came with some big changes. There were fewer athletes than past years, a tighter competition schedule, and a massive shift in how athletes move from the Open to the semifinals with the Games. Now, I was very unhappy with last year's stuff. I know that they're changing some stuff back to maybe older times. I feel like more people were. We're still going to be probably dealing with the online qualifiers.
Right.
And you can qualify in person or not. I still don't like that. But, you know, that's just something that this old girl can't get used to yet. With that last year, remember, crowned the fittest on earth for the men's were Jason Hopper, the male champion, after an incredible weekend for that competition. And the women's side was Tia Claire Toomey Orr, did the unthinkable again, winning her 8th CrossFit Games title. 8. That's one for the history books for her.
That's insane.
And congratulations to her. Pregnant.
I know.
With baby number 2. But it was like with her story, hearing how she trained, the background of how she got there. She was balancing motherhood and elite fitness, high rocks, and she talked about major part of her journey on that season.
She's a tank.
Yes. I know that this year it was announced, though, that we're not going to be in New York. It's going to be it's in California. Sorry. It's going to be in Northern California.
Yes.
And is it San Jose?
I think it is, right?
Yeah. So I'm glad that they're going back to California.
I love that too.
For it. I just wish that it was in Southern California.
Well, we're a little biased to Southern California, so
we are.
We're a little biased there. But I mean, it is kind of nice that it's more accessible, at least to people like us who are closer by. And you're right, it kind of culminated because that's where it all started, right? CrossFit and the what was it? The farm was what they called it, and that was kind of the beginnings of it. So kind of bringing it back, there's a little sentimental value to that, I think, for sure.
I feel sometimes when they get in a hiccup with everybody, they always bring it back to California.
That's funny that you say that because that tends to be a pattern. It's like, let's reconnect back to what we used to be because it seems like we're losing a little
things
bit
like that. So yeah.
Not to mention, I think we've spoken about it too, but High Rocks has become significantly larger in the past 2 years. And a lot of athletes that used to do CrossFit have kind of merged into that lane a little bit more in the past 2 years as well. Not to say that they don't do both sometimes, because they do, but it seems like that's definitely also impacted, I would say, the numbers as well.
It is. And I think it's something new for athletes or something that they can... In a sense, some of them are putting their money to support something else because they don't feel supported.
It makes sense. Yeah.
But I don't know if High Rocks can do anything else. You know, like what other movement are they going to put in? They're not going to put barbell movement in.
Yeah, I guess I see it more like it's like a marathon. Like it's going to be the same thing.
It's going to be the same thing. And I feel like you're only going to get still a niche of athletes for that, or to break away for something new. right? Because you're going to be hitting the same things over and over, where CrossFit is still like you have movements that are the same, but we don't do cleans every workout. And if we do cleans, it's not always with barbell. It could be with dumbbells. It could be with kettlebells. It could be with sandbags, D-balls, all kinds of different things. So our movements are always, I don't want to say evolving, but they're never this, you don't get the same workout. And if we're doing the same workout, it's a benchmark. It's something to see where you were. Where high rocks would be, if you're doing it over and over again, like marathons, you want to get better and better and better. But it's, I don't know. Of course, I would love to try it, because I am, as I'm getting older, I'm like, I do want to try different things to test my ability in certain things that I don't like doing. I don't like running, but for some reason, I want to try it.
Maybe we should do our first one together.
So it would be something, but I don't know. And I love sled push. I love sled pull. Skier's fine. Rowing's fine. Wall balls are fine. It's the burpee broad jumps that I absolutely would hate. That's the only thing that I don't want to do. Well, which is funny because it's a lot of running, and I was like, well, I could just...
It is a lot of running.
Yeah.
But it seems like CrossFit athletes can, transition into that pretty well. So I can see athletes being like, oh, well, let me explore that a little bit and make some more money on this also. And
yeah,
it's going to be interesting. But I agree. It seems attendance has definitely not had its momentum for a while.
Yeah. There's a lot of like Instagram reels and even on TikToks and things about, I don't want to give my money to the open. You know, I feel there's been some of them that I've seen, like, I don't want to give my money to have people judge me. And then there's the other half of, I don't want to give money to people. I don't want to give money to CrossFit because they're still unhappy from what happened a couple years ago, which I understand that. And they're in the middle of selling and we don't know what's up and down and how are we supporting, this company. If our community doesn't feel supported, I feel like they're trying to do something. It's always in the air right now, ever since the incident. And since they're going through like somebody trying to buy them. Yeah, it is hard. I can only imagine working at headquarters while going through all these things. And I'm not giving them the excuse, but it is upside down to me. I only feel like from years ago where it was like CrossFit headquarters, CrossFit, like that name to me was very like amazing and had like, around it, to where I'm more secure in our CrossFit home gym. Like that's CrossFit to me and amazing to me. And I hope one day HQ and all that comes back to it and starts to realize that these communities are just being built by the gyms and you need to involve it.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point.
Yeah. So what news do you have about the open season?
For the open, it's going to be an interesting one because like Blake said, it will be in California. So we're expecting a lot of big hitters to come to California. But one of the biggest things that's happening is the release of the first open workout, which is always an exciting time. And in true CrossFit fashion, they make such a huge deal about it and prepare everybody for that. But one of our favorites, I love Colton Mertens. I know you do too, but represent us shorty people out there. Yeah. The matchup is going to be, to hit it off, it's going to be this February 26th in San Jose, California. They're going to call it the San Jose Showdown. And it's going to be at, I think it's Muppet Federal Airfield in San Jose. And they're going to be announcing their 26.1 workout announcement. I always love watching the first announcement just because, of course, the ones that follow are great too. But it's just kind of like, it feels like the Olympics. It's like, someone putting on the torch and getting the event started. And it's always someone who's a big name. They're going to have Jason Hopper in the lineup, as well as Dallin Pepper, Colton Mertens, and Austin, is it Hatfield?
Yes.
So they're going to be showing up, performing the first workout. I think it's going to be a good redemption story for almost everyone on that floor. I think Pepper just missed the podium. In 2025, he was like in 4th place. And Mertens was noted as being just like a dominant force in the open last year. And I think a lot of us kind of put him on the radar because of his crazy squat. It was awesome.
And his jump rope that broke.
Oh man.
Poor man.
That one was a tough one to watch. And we've seen that happen in previous games before where people just get into things and they just completely stop and they can't do anything. And we'll see what happens this year.
It's funny because you have Jason Hopper and Dallin Pepper, right? Who like grew in the games. And then you have Colton Mertens that had something malfunction during the games.
Yeah.
And Hatfield who had something malfunction in WFP.
Oh.
You have the 2 blondes against the 2 brunettes.
I guess it is a redemption story.
2 tall athletes against 2 on the shorter end athletes.
Yeah.
So you can see all those different types of verses in it. And that's just me looking into everything.
That's a good point.
After I told you I don't believe in conspiracy theories. But
I was like, I didn't even think about it that way. But that's a great point.
So you have like so many things against everything. Do I hope Dallin Pepper's year is this year? Because there's a few of them that have come in, and this was like during Matt Fraser's last year that I know Jason Hopper was making a big name for himself. Dallin Pepper was making a big name for himself. Justin Medeiros, of course.
Right.
I remember when they were saying that it was either Jason Hopper or Dallin Pepper that was supposed to take Matt Fraser's legacy and things like that, and it ended up being Justin Medeiros who came in. I really see like the hard work in when you see these guys compete and on their stories and their channels and things like that. They're hilarious, but at the same time, like wanting, I know that we saw Matt Fraser for years win. We saw Tia Toomey for years win. I'm okay if it's always a new athlete every year and they're grinding it out and it's only like 2 points away from each other. Those years of being, 100 points away or 300 points away were fun to watch. But at the same time, I love when there's a good fight and everybody's trying to just get number one.
Yeah.
And I really hope Dallin Pepper, this could be his year too. Jason Hopper is amazing to watch too. I'm always rooting for Justin Medeiros because I feel he has it. It's fun to watch like those athletes that you're like, oh my gosh, I just wish, Colton Mertens. The guys had such a stacked name, that I'm not saying the women's didn't. Sometimes it's just funny. For me watching the games, it's either like really enthralling to watch the men or really competitive to watch the women. Like I don't feel like it's ever the same.
True, yeah.
So I hope maybe this year it is because we don't have Tia Toomey in it. Of course, the men, we're going to see if Jason Hopper can do 2 years in a row because that's always what people put on the next generation or the next time.
Now you got to keep
maybe
it going.
They could get a year. Maybe they do 2 years. Can they be like Matt Fraser? Can they be like Tia? And it's like, why can't other people just,
just be?
It's kind of like the Super Bowl. Can the Patriots, how many times can they be in the Super Bowl? How many times can the Chiefs be in the Super Bowl? It's like,
true.
It's okay to watch other teams go against each other.
That's true. I do love Matt Fraser though.
Yes. And I did love like being like, oh my gosh, this is his year, and seeing how much he grew, and each year he just knew the way to play.
It was crazy. Yeah. Nobody could stop him. I think
that's why I'm like, no, it's fine if, Jason won last year, Dallin wins this year, or, Colton wins this year, or things like that to see what's going on. But yeah, I know that there has been some confusion already in this season, though. The athletes confused on which semifinals that they would be eligible for. Like there's already questioning for that or how to qualify for them. I know that they were talking about, especially on the spin, that the problem is that some of the semifinal online qualifiers are either over with registration or the deadline was behind. People are confused by it.
Interesting.
Right? So I'm like, okay, because like the French Throwdown already has things released. And I know that's another competition. So
it's all these stages, man. It's so confusing.
And it's confusing. And I'm kind of glad that I'm not the only one who's confused. That these pro athletes are also like,
girl, we got a taste of
what's
it.
going on?
Yeah. I guess we're not alone, girl. We're not alone.
So check out the Spin too. That's another podcast that goes over a lot of in-depth for the open and qualifying stages. But yeah, a couple athletes feel slated by it, which I don't blame them. Like, this is their
bread and butter.
Yeah. So it is. It's crazy.
That advertising though, did you see the preview that Coach Chris posted on his, I think it was on Instagram. It does look pretty cool.
It does. And I'm like, you guys, like, I see where you're going.
Yes.
Let's go to it.
Yeah.
But can we not just make it like, look over here? You know?
Well, like you said, there's a lot of things in the air.
Yeah.
And I think
how's
maybe
the sale going?
For that, I think it's still up in the air. I've been looking up to see if anything's happened. Like you mentioned, the barbell spin's been like a resource that's been really on top of it. But just to give people some kind of feedback as to what's going on with that. Pretty much in a gist, CrossFit HQ is being sold by the Berkshire Partners. Pretty much owned it, I believe, since 2020, if I'm not mistaken. It's been on sale for nearly a year now.
Yeah.
And I think the barbell spin recently discussed like a leaked 49-page business plan from like a potential buyer called Wade Diebner. So there's been kind of just talks of people like, oh, maybe not. But the controversy was that there was like a plan that was suggested about raising affiliate fees from $4,500 to $10,000.
Are you kidding me?
That's the which means
10,000. You better be giving the members and the affiliate owners like some discount prices on like tier, because you know shoes are now. You go to shoes are nothing's lower than 120. $10,000. What gives you the right?
It's crazy.
You just raise prices. I don't know. I'm not an affiliate owner, so I don't know if y'all would be as mad as I am. But to me, that means that you are increasing your membership. And with prices nowadays, everything's increasing, but your pay?
Girl. Yeah, that's like double. So it's just been like a mix of just delays of people like negotiating and dropping out and saying yes or no. And there's been just expressed concerns over just the future directions. And of course, there's been a decline in popularity, as you know.
Well, because nobody's in charge technically.
Yeah. So a lot of things have been going down, athlete safety as well. So it's hard. It's hard for them to sell. And at this point, they just haven't found anyone at this point. So yeah, I guess that guy, Wade Diebner, was one of the guys that was thinking of buying it. And then that's when they found his leaked plan. And they're like, because it says here,
Greg Glassman did a lot of not nice things, saying not nice things. But I feel like we still need somebody like him compared to people who own like 24-hour fitness, you know, those kind of gyms. There's a reason why we go, we're not like those gyms.
Oh, the guy you're thinking of is called Mark Mastrov.
Yeah, so you said that he decided to drop out.
Yeah, co-founder and former CEO of 24-Hour Fitness. But yeah, it seemed like this other guy, the Wade Diebner, was trying to make it more into like a Peloton style digital kind of multi-level thing.
That's just not what CrossFit is.
It's not. Yeah.
You can't.
It's all these money-making schemes.
Home. Yeah.
Yeah. Just try to make more money. What's more efficient? What's going to make us,
I was like,
again,
I get
profit.
You could do a bike, but you can't do these movements. You could do body weight at home. And some people do have home gyms. I get that. And they can buy programming and things like that. I see that part. If we want to do that part. But in a sense, doesn't CrossFit already do that? Because if you go to CrossFit.com, CrossFit.com has daily workouts and has a home gym. Or you can invest in home gym programming through WHPO and things like that. So you don't need something like Peloton.
Don't like that. Don't like that at all.
$10,000 for affiliates.
That'd be more than doubling it. That's just too much. Again.
Yeah, but we're not owners, so
I know. I'm like, we're over here like, what? No way.
I don't know if that would make you guys happy. It wouldn't make me happy. So.
But yeah, that's they're struggling. It's been a year, and let's see what happens with that. But we'll keep you guys posted. No luck as of yet.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And that also is just like, what does that say too? It's like the business is probably not doing so hot. And now we're doing the whole 25% again for quarterfinals. And it's, yeah, that's concerning.
Yeah, it is. I mean, like
the economy
there. And that's why I was going into, this season with the qualifiers. Syndicate Crown tickets are on sale. If anybody's interested in that. But there is the French Throwdown. The third and final workout of the French Throwdown online qualifier has officially been released. So we do have that and online qualifiers starting up for other major semifinals around the world, like the Far East Throwdown and others, meaning the race to qualify for the bigger events is already in motion before the Open.
Weird.
Right? That's where I'm just like confused by this stuff. I don't get it. So they're using these qualifiers before the Open.
Interesting.
To make sure you have a spot for semifinals for some of these. That's confusing. I don't get why you would have these events the Open
should be as like a backup.
Yeah. Well, we used to have, you had the Open, you have the quarterfinals, and then you had these as semifinals. And that's why we had the Far Out East, or the French Throwdown, the Far East. You had the one in Australia. Like, we had those. So to do these, to qualify for an in-person semifinal before the Open, it's weird. To me, I'm just like, maybe I need to do more educating myself on this season. So this is a better episode for me to be like, okay, let me dive deeper into what this means. I was already confused last year how they were doing it.
I know, we were trying our best to get it.
And then when they're like, okay, we're still doing this part, but you're still going to have this part, I was like, this is confusing. And now I can see why athletes might feel slated. They might feel like, wait, the deadline for that is already before this. How do I know? Some of these athletes don't have managers to keep track of things. Some of these athletes,
most don't.
It's different. So, and then that's when I was like, okay, well, maybe more people, because of this confusing year, are switching over to WFP. Because remember, we're still having that this year. But as I was listening and reading up on a couple things, it was saying that a couple pro athletes aren't
participating.
Yeah, as of last month in January for the World Fitness Project, they were announcing the signed pros for this year. It ended up stopping January 21st, and it's now been 13 days or 14 days since even confirming Pat Vellner was confirmed for the 26th. And now, he just had heart surgery for arrhythmias that was going on.
That's right. You were telling me that.
I'm the only one out of the boys doing it, because they were saying that Dallin Pepper, Justin Medeiros withdrew from WFP finals. So we knew that. Medeiros, Pepper, and Sprague did compete in Copenhagen to earn their pro cards. But now it is stating that both Pepper and Medeiros have declined their contract and won't be competing.
Oh, wow.
Pepper and Medeiros finished 2nd and 4th overall, respectively, for that season. Pepper's 2026 contract would be $70,000, while Medeiros would be $55,000. Now, again, when we were talking about that they were redoing contracts, I didn't know if they were going to change their contracts to where, you can't do other competitions, you can't do that, because they were finding so many people for the finals of Copenhagen were dropping out.
Oh,
and that was their first year, right? Right now, Pepper and Medeiros, those are the only ones who have walked away. Will others? We'll have to see as the season progresses.
I wouldn't be surprised, though.
Right? It's, I don't know. I feel like this year is already starting off with a bang of questions and concerns, even for the WFP.
So if you missed it, in December, they did have a release of the 2026 rule book for the games. And some of the biggest critical changes that are happening are medical screenings. So for the first time, both individual and team athletes that will be competing in this year's games will be required to submit medical screenings from a physician, which is a massive shift in athlete protocols. I think it's a great idea. It doesn't hurt to have that. I mean, and we've always known, like, when you go to pro level, you know that there's going to be some kind of testing that's going to be happening. So no surprise there. And something that's kind of exciting is they're going to be having affiliate perks. So something that's new this year is that affiliates will be eligible for open prizes they can choose from, amongst them like a $1,000 affiliate fee credit, a row gift card, or games tickets. I'm really curious how you can win those. I'm assuming it's probably, you know, your gym maybe has to do, I'll look into it, but that sounds kind of exciting.
Yeah, because most of those athletes are going to the games. I guess if their loved ones go, they get free tickets for it. Or if they're not big names. Yeah, I like the health screening things because I remember Bailey Martin had like a mini heart attack at the Torian Pro.
Oh my gosh.
Last year. We had talked about it.
I think you did, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe doing those can see if anything comes into play. And then be like, oh, okay, well, you look pretty healthy, but you have all these things. Yeah. Or to just have the medical team better
be prepared, I guess.
Be prepared, more knowledge about the athletes that are coming into play. Yeah, that's not bad.
I agree. I guess it wouldn't hurt to know if somebody had like diabetes or something that they need to watch out for. Yeah.
Instead of the athlete having to also be like, hey, I have this. Because I mean, most of them are adults, but I don't go to the doctor.
Or what if you're unconscious after an event? It's like, how am I?
And they don't know all of your emergency
your medical history. Yeah. It makes sense to me. It really
I feel like they should have already had this, though.
Yeah. I mean, playing catch up, I suppose. And I guess it is a move up.
It's kind of eye-opening to see what they're doing. That us as humans for other competitive things. Like I just go into like my kids stuff. Like you have to put down like that where they go to the doctors. Is it okay if we transfer them like this way?
That's so true.
Is there any other things that can happen? Like my son does horseback riding lessons, and like the thing that I had to fill out was like, does he have any medical? Or is there any medical history? Are there seizures, diabetes, anything? Does he take medication? Like stuff like that. Yeah. And I know it's just for horseback riding, but it's for if like, heaven forbid, I'm not there during a lesson and something happens.
Right.
And, you know, or like he falls off and it's because he passed out from something, and then they could look and be like, oh, it's because of this, and we didn't look at this. It
might be this, or he's allergic to penicillin.
Or, oh, wow, he has seizures, compared to like the parent being like, oh, every once in a while he may have a seizure.
True.
You know,
so true.
It's being more aware. And I would have thought with people working
CrossFit
out,
being CrossFit, that it'd be already there.
Oh yeah, because like I always ask people, especially during the summertime.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a tough time.
Or when somebody's looking sluggish, I'm like, what did you eat today? What have you drank today? Like, oh, that's why, because you only had a banana.
Oh, it's making me thirsty.
Let's do that. You know, and those are just like questions that I ask to regular adults, and I don't even ask about their medical history.
That's why you got the AED machine.
Yeah. But it's also like when somebody gets injured and they don't like to tell us sometimes. I'm like, you got to tell us, otherwise you're going to injure yourself more. Sometimes adults don't do it. So it's good to have these screenings.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
Guilty.
So I just was reading up on that, and they already have people who have accepted invites to the Syndicate Crown. Yeah. Jason Hopper has already accepted.
Wow.
Lucy Campbell. I guess when you look at it this way, and maybe this is what they've always done, and we just never known, and people have been more eye-opening about things. These are pro athletes, so you expect them to
hold them to a standard.
Yeah, and to already accept. I just thought that it was you did the open, you do the qualifiers, then to be accepted into these things. Maybe not. And I'm like, this is happening in May.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And like I said, maybe they've done this whole entire time, and it's a good thing they didn't put it up because it's very confusing that we're already accepting athletes for these spots
before the open
happens.
It's definitely different.
And I am going to say, if people read these or listen to some of these podcasts, I can see why some of us savagely average people are like, why even do the open? Now, I'm not a pro.
Well, yeah, no, but
I always did the open because I was like, oh, we're all doing it together for some reason. And I get that we're all doing it together and that I was never going to make it to a semifinals. But if you already have it planned out, then what's the whole point of the open? And if we're trying to get our members to do it, we are basing it more as a community and we're doing it for you. But for some of us old timers, I'm like, well, why even have the open if you already have this competition already set?
I mean, I guess I could get that. We're doing it anyway.
Yeah. On some lighter note and some heartwarming news too, including adaptive fitness projects are expanding for people with mobility disabilities. This is showing that CrossFit is moving and growing as more than just competition fitness. I guess we can look at it that way. Kaw Valley CrossFit, a gym location that's partnering with the University of Kansas researchers, will host their ribbon cutting ceremony for a new adaptive athlete facility. It's a community-based project they're building on years of research showing benefits of exercise for people with disabilities. And they're going to expand more through a federal grant that will help the University of Kansas also. Their researchers with partnering with the fitness facility adapted for people who have the mobility disability. Their grant is for 3 years. It's $750,000.
Oh, wow.
Right? So I feel like this is really good. It's going to the Disability Independent Living and Rehabilitation Research Project that will be led by Lindsay Kuhn, the assistant research professor of the KU Lifespan Institute.
Oh.
Yeah. So they are recruiting individuals ages 18 to 74 years of age who have mobility disabilities to participate in the functional fitness program. So like the prior small pilot studies that they had been doing to proceed with this project, the group exercise and training take place at area functional fitness facilities and are led by a coach with training in adaptive exercises. So it is cool that we're expanding more, and I feel like this is going to be more help for affiliates to introduce that for people in their area to come. So I'm glad that they're doing some research. I know that we have Joseph that comes to our gym and who's an adaptive athlete. And I feel like not only does he get something out of our classes, but we do too.
Right.
And like me being a baby coach years prior, and I still feel like I'm 100% will always be a baby coach, even if it's 30 years in, because I always have something to learn. But I'd always just coach him and adapt certain things. But this year, like he was even telling me that he has ideas for himself. And as a coach, I'm like, how can we do those things? How can I push him? These are things that we always do. And we've been doing that for years. Let's switch it up and try to build on what is going to get him more excited to come in and what is also going to better his strength. So it also has helped me as a coach to think of other things. And I know the other coaches as well. So to have now this research and program trying to be put in and being done, I feel like it's going to grow over. I would like to see it after it's 3 years of the grant, where they're at and how it's going to be done. I know that they're starting at the Kaw Valley CrossFit, who's owned by Alec Barquois, who is certified as an adaptive and inclusive trainer through the Adaptive Training Academy and partnered with Kuhn in previous studies. His gym recently expanded to support more members from the community who identify as having a disability, which again, I think that's cool, right? Because then they have a place to go and they're not the only one in class.
They don't feel alone.
Yeah. The new 2,500 square foot space adjacent to Caw Valley's main facility will host functional fitness classes adapted to individual needs, such as lower handles for someone to reach while seated in a wheelchair. Additionally, it anticipates that the newly expanded facility will host space for assistive technology for Kansasians. So Kansas people.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
You know, like how like they put the
like Californians and like Arizonians.
Kansans.
I have no idea.
Another project at the Lifespan Institute. Also
Interesting.
So I'd like to see how this goes, and also maybe like this new facility is where they can start having like CrossFit
events.
Can start having events, but like adaptive coaching seminars, since they're going to have a facility set up with lower areas for people in wheelchair, more accessibility for them, bigger areas for these things.
I like that.
Maybe like the jump ropes for people who only have one arm or things like that. Now I can see where they're like, well, we also want to be a part of the main group of people who don't have disabilities.
It's true.
I could see both ways, but this is really exciting to see how this program is going to grow. And it's really cool that they're doing it from, again, ages 18 to, 78.
Damn. That's wild.
Right? So there is a bit of good news. Sorry, not 78, 18 to 74 years of age.
It's still really impressive.
Right? I'm like, that's really, really cool. So what's the takeaway here? CrossFit isn't just about who gets the big belt at the game. It's about how the sport's evolving. If we feel like it is, what we, as the community and as average CrossFitters, feel like they could do better at, and what they are trying to do better at. Who's pushing the boundaries, and how are you, the listeners, fitting into this story?
Right.
Whether that's signing up for the Open, crushing the qualifiers, understanding what the qualifiers are, supporting teammates, or just watching your own PRs go up, that's the news worth watching everywhere in this community, and that's what we care about.
Amen.
So this season is shaping up for one of the most exciting CrossFit years I'm hoping for. We will yet to see.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the biggest question is right there.
And we'll be right here covering the wins, the losses, the stories, and the community. We love doing these news things because it does help us to realize what we need to dive deeper. And if we have questions about that, you guys might have questions about.
Right.
And we do want CrossFit to be transparent like they said they were going to be. So we're very glad that they're trying to do that.
Yeah.
So if you feel like this podcast is your swig of pre-workout, please don't forget to hit that follow button so you don't miss an episode. Subscribe on YouTube. Leave us a comment and let us know if this was a PR or a no rep episode. We love to hear from you guys. You can also shout us out on Apple Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio as well. You can listen to us on so many
Apple
platforms.
Music.
So don't forget to do that. If you have an episode that you want us to deep dive in, a question about, is this what we do at a CrossFit gym? And we can blast it out on here. Let us know. You can DM us on Instagram at Savagely Scaled. You can email us at savagelyscaled1@gmail.com. Also, if you feel like your affiliate is the best, you run the best affiliate in the world, let us know. Or if you go to the best affiliate and you want the owners to be on the affiliate segment, please DM us or email us. We love to visit new gyms. We love to hear what the gym's doing for the community, and we love to hear what the community thinks of the gym.
Yes, we do.
So please just let us know if you want us out and about with our shenanigans.
Yes. Gotta love it.
But on that note, don't be a Karen.
Be a Sharon.
And keep sharing. Just hit that share button. Click.
We need more Sharon in this world. That's all I gotta say.
And until
we meet
at the whiteboard again. Bye.